guys? Your host, your boy, George Mackay, back in studio again today, pre-recorded as I always do, doing these COVID-19 times. And I got a special one today. I got somebody you've seen in a lot of places recently. He's been featured on AEW Dark. He's been featured on New Japan Pro. He's been wrestling all over the world, but now he's taking the world by storm. Please help me welcome to Straight Talk Wrestling from Brooklyn, New York, Danny LimeLight.
Mi gente, what's happening? It's Danny LimeLight, and I'm here on Straight Talk Wrestling. Man, it feels good. Thank you for that introduction, man. You made me sound like a superstar just now.
Well, you are. I mean, you're a superstar definitely in the making, but a lot of people, your story is incredible. In doing the research that I did, I always try to pride myself on doing the research, but the internet is never factual. But I did find one kind of clip of you from United Wrestling Network. It was called The Push. It's where you kind of laid out everything, laid out your humble upbringing from in Brooklyn, New York, raised by, middle-class Puerto Rican family, Puerto Rican descent for sure. And you always rep Puerto Rico with pride. And that's a huge thing. Like anybody that's going to rep their hometown. Me, if I was a wrestler, I'd rep Canada all day long. But Kevin Owens does that for me, so I don't really need to do much.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
But I loved everything you talked about in that promo, and I want to get into that first off. So you talked about, I mean, right out the gate, I think you were 17 or 18, you joined the Marine Corps, and you were there for 10 years. You defended this country with honor, pride, and respect. You worked your way up the ranks. You made over 350 Marines. They had to go through you. They had to show and prove through you in order to make it to be a Marine. And that's not an easy thing to do.
And today's the Marine Corps' birthday, you know what I'm saying? As we're recording this, I'm getting fired up already. I'm ready to go scream and do some push-ups and run 17 miles, what I'm about to do today.
Well, I just got my new Xbox delivered, so after I'm done with you, I'm gonna go upstairs and play.
My roommate, he's waiting on his Xbox. Look at you. I'm so jealous. I'm waiting for. See, I got the PS5, so I gotta wait till Thursday.
That's okay. We forgive you. We forgive you for getting a PS5. It's okay. It's okay.
Whatever. You're absolutely correct. I joined the Marine Corps. I was 17. I signed up. Over 350 Marines that I made as a Marine Corps drone instructor, and I got out as the rank of staff sergeant. Yep.
Wow, and that's incredible. And also, not only you and I share something else special in common. I'm a girl dad to two beautiful daughters, an 11-year-old and a 4-year-old. Girl dads, right there. Hey, girl dads, man. It's not an easy gig to raise a beautiful woman in this world, but if a man can do that, it's a special thing. Yes, it is an absolutely special thing. I don't care what anybody says. Being a girl dad is the best experience I ever had in my life.
No lie, I literally love it. Like, I want a son someday, but he's probably not gonna be as cool as my daughter. So,
I've seen the videos with your daughter and stuff. She is definitely a precious little angel, much like mine is. My 11-year-old now is hitting that tween stage, so she's kind of got the attitude and the snappiness. But I let it slide because I have the attitude and the snappiness. So you can't really discipline somebody when they're pretty much you.
Yeah, they're getting it from you. Yeah, exactly. That's what
it's hard. It's hard to do that. It's hard to do that. It really is, especially your daughter. If she sits there and she starts barking orders at you, you're gonna sit there and go, "Damn, I have no choice."
Yeah. Her mom will call me and be like, "Hey, like your child is acting up again." I'm like, okay.
I love it when they're in trouble. It's all of a sudden just your child. Yeah. Like you had your mom. Her mom had nothing to do with it. It was all you.
To her mom's defense, she is like a really, really good girl, like a good woman. So when the bad shit happens, it's probably from my radioactive genes. You know what I'm saying?
Probably. So, but that promo, it felt so heartfelt. It was so truthful, everything. And then also you were a stunt man. I want to get into that. But talk to me about that. Like when you sit down and you do a promo for a new promotion that you're working with to try to get yourself out there to show people who you are. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't seem like there's like Danny LimeLight and Daniel Rivera are pretty much the same person, just a little bit turned up as every wrestling character is. But when you did that promo, it felt like you really did have something that you wanted to show and prove to everybody. So can we talk about that promo first off?
Yeah, I just wanted to show everybody how authentic I am, like how real I am. I'm not a fan of the fake stuff. I'm not a fan of the fake it till you make it. I'm not a fan of, playing the politic game to get where you want to be. And for me, one thing that I pride myself in is that since I started wrestling to now, I've been authentic. I've been genuine. I've been real. I've been true to who I am, and that's just, a Puerto Rican kid from New York. Yes, my backstory, I served in the Marine Corps for 10 years. I'm a father on top of that. I do the acting and the stunts, but everything that I do, I put 100% into it so that I can be the best at what I'm doing. So whether it's being a father, or if it's being, shooting a fight scene in a film, or if I'm, when I was in the Marine Corps, we talked about making 350 Marines. Before that, I had to go through drill instructor school. Before that, I had to reach the top 10% of the Marine Corps. And I did all that. And I was the #1 graduate from drill instructor school. And so with this wrestling stuff, like when I first started, I knew I wanted to be great. Like, no, I don't do anything just to do it. I'm not the person that's ever just happy to be there. You know, like I want to get to the top. And in that promo, I didn't want to come across cartoonish. I didn't want to come across, eccentric. I wanted to speak true from the heart, tell everybody who I am, because there are a lot of people who didn't know who I was, but I wanted them to see who I am, all sides of me, where I'm coming from, how I was raised, how I was brought up to get to where I'm at today, because it has been a journey. I started in 2014, but I took a 2-year break as a drill instructor. So I've really only been wrestling for 4 strong years, and I'm just now, this last year, obviously this has been my breakout year, but it didn't really start clicking until 2019. And in that promo, like I just was sitting there thinking of everything that I've done in life, period, to where I'm at in the ring today. And I knew that when I came into 2020, I had a 2020 vision. And this promo, I think, was done right before the pandemic hit. And I was sitting there thinking about everything that I envisioned for myself, and I wasn't there yet, and so when I was talking, I just wanted to manifest what I wanted, and I wanted to really just let everybody know who I am. And then things just started rocking and rolling once the quarantine hit.
That's pretty incredible that even with the pandemic going on, you were able to make the moves that you're able to make. You were able to show and prove who you are. And
Right.
you're a sign of, even in these uncertain times when everything's going on with the world and we don't know where we are, you are making the most of what's available to you. You've been given opportunities. You've earned those opportunities. Let's not sugarcoat it. It's not like Cody Rhodes called you and said, hey, man, I like what you did here, so I'm going to bring you out. No, you had to show and prove and earn that. And
Right.
But when you got that spotlight, even though, let's talk about AEW for a second. Even though the dark appearance did not go your way, you and Casey Navarro did not get the win. You had some high spots in that. That flying knee, the Luchasaurus face, mask or not. I know that motherfucker felt it when he took that mask off backstage. I know he felt that shit because I felt it. I was at home and my face was like, damn.
You didn't see the first match?
No, I only saw that one. I did not see the first one.
I'm gonna send you the link after we get off of this. But my first match was the week before. It was me and Jersey Muscle versus all 3 of Jurassic Express.
Oh shit.
And that match, in my opinion, was the Danny LimeLight show. And I'm gonna send it to you so you can check that shit out too.
Absolutely. I try to keep on as dark as much as possible, but it's so hard. There's just so many options nowadays. When we were kids, let's be honest, when you and I were kids and we were watching wrestling, to go back, it was just Monday Night Raw, WCW. That's all we had. We didn't have all the options we have now. You got AEW Dark. You got this. You got New Japan. You got Monday Night Raw, SmackDown. You got Dynamite on Wednesdays. You got NXT on Wednesdays. Like, my whole week is booked.
Yeah, New Japan's and you're. I trust me. I feel you. I feel you on how much wrestling is happening. I love it though. It's a great time to be, a wrestler with everything that we have going on. I just sent you that link to your DMs, but if you look at it, Monday, you're right, you got Raw. Tuesday, you got Impact, you got AEW Dark, you got Primetime Live now. Wednesdays, you got Dynamite, NXT. Thursdays, I don't know if anything's really happening on Thursdays.
No, I think we all get a one day break.
1 day break, yeah. And then Fridays, you got SmackDown. You got, of course, New Japan, Pro Wrestling Strong. And then Saturdays, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. There's so much wrestling. When I listed off all those companies, and essentially I'm on TV with Primetime Live, AEW Dark, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and New Japan Strong. And so, if I could just, I've done the Impact before, and I had a great time there wrestling. I had, I think, my debut match in 2019, part of the X Division, for the X Division Championship. And now the only 2 companies I'm missing are Ring of Honor and WWE. Those are the only 2 companies I haven't wrestled for.
Well, you know what? I actually just sat down with Shane Taylor from Ring of Honor last night. And he's a beast of a human being. And he's somebody that, in my head, when I was thinking, I was like, once I finished that interview, I'm like, great dude, awesome person. Now I had to get ready and I had to just tighten up the research for you. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching one of the matches I want to talk about right now is a match between you and Sammy Guevara for the 5th Combat Championship. This was in May 2nd, 2019. And that match was literally 20 minutes of some of the fastest wrestling I have ever seen. And 2 very cocky individuals that spent the first minute jack-jawing to each other before, I believe, you threw the first punch. And by the end of it all, By the end of it all,
my face.
he did kick you in your face. That's right.
Face.
But you got right back up because you are the radioactive spider, and you went literally ape shit on him. If you had webs flying at you, you would have spun him in the corner. But you ended up winning with that insane bulldog DDT off the top rope.
Yeah.
That's how you put him down.
Yeah.
And by the end of that match, you both looked exhausted. But I could see, and this is what I love about wrestling, I could see that there was just that. You kind of looked over when you were on the top rope. You had the belt right there. You were just showing everybody, I'm still here. I still won it. And you kind of looked over and you guys did that. He was kind of rubbing his jaw and you guys did that whole Walt Disney slow nod. Like, all right, kid, I see you. And you were like, all right, kid, I see you. Because you're both fucking young as shit. Okay. I'm older than both y'all. Show a little bit of respect.
Okay, first of all, Sammy Guevara, that's my fucking boy. Like, I love that dude. We were supposed to wrestle in San Diego for Baja Stars for the, like, before that match happened. It ended up not happening because AAA didn't let him go. They had some AAA.
It's all good.
AAA had another show that same day running. At the time he was one of the CMML champion or AAA champions or something. I can't remember, but he wasn't able to go. And he like hit me up and he was like, "Yo, bro, like I'm gonna make it up to you. Like we'll have this match again." So 2019 comes around, which was like I think it was like 5 months after I was supposed to originally wrestle him, and they make the match happen, you know, at a different company, and he hits me up. He's like, "It's gonna happen, bro. Yada yada yada." He had just like right before he had just signed with AEW, like he was already in talks with AEW at the time, and yeah, he came, and that night was like LimeLight appreciation night because I was the champion for however many days. I was fucking. They had like this big poster of me, like and like because I do modeling as well as the acting. I was like all modeling and stuff like that. It was like this real shitty shit, like real shitty show. And like I'm like talking shit. They presented me with that new championship that night. It was an older championship. I got the new championship that night, you know. And I'm talking shit on in the ring, and Sammy Guevara comes through the door. He arrived late to the show. He was in the middle of a vlog. And so he's doing his vlog, and then he's like pointing at me, and then we just start the shit talking there in his vlog. And then afterwards, you know, we go to the back, and then the match happens, and I love that match. It was our first time wrestling. It was so much fun, and I think that night my mom was there that night. It was the first time she ever watched me wrestle live, so I think I had that going for me. I did feel very confident because I knew how good Sammy was. And I think now I'm way better than I was in the ring then. But I knew at that time I was like I can fucking do this shit. I can fucking go ham with this dude like right now and have a really really good time. And it happened. And then you know I didn't see Sammy again until I went to Rhode Island. And I went to Rhode Island and you know we did the whole vlog there. And then this past time at AEW, you know, seeing my boy again and. You know, hopping in his vlog for a little quick cameo and just he's a good dude, man. He's I feel like he's one of those guys because the way he carries himself, he may rub people the wrong way, but I love that dude and he's super talented and I love all the success that's like happening for him right now.
Yeah, I don't. He doesn't rub me the wrong way. In fact, I think when you're confident in your abilities and you're confident in your swagger, much like yourself, there's nothing wrong with that. Confidence shines through, and whether you love somebody or hate him, you can look at him and say, that dude can do it. I mean, one of my favorite matches from Full Gear that just happened last weekend was the Ultimate Deletion match. When him and Matt Hardy were shooting fireworks at each other, that was just TV gold. And he took a lot of fireworks in the back. I'm kind of interested to see what the hell his back looks like because I'm pretty sure Matt Hardy hit him a few times. I really am.
It was good, man. And Matt, as you know, Matt Hardy's brain for wrestling is different than a lot of people's, but I like how Sammy Guevara was able to, you know, have that kind of a match. I think that's like his third pre-tape like cinematic style match. I think he has the most right now in AEW, so it's pretty dope that he's able to do that.
Yeah, and it shows how he can carry himself. He can go comedic, he can go serious, and he can go, you know, aggressive like he did with MJF. Like I mean, there's a lot of layers to a Sammy Guevara, much like yourself. There's a lot of layers to you. I've seen you have I've watched your stuff, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. That's amazing. The most recent match I saw you in was last weekend. Was you and Chase Owens for New Japan ShowDown. Now, unfortunately, that match did not go your way again, but it was a fantastic match. And to see how well you can mesh with different styles, because you're a high flyer, you have speed. Chase Owens has speed as well, but he's more of a ground and pound. If he gets you in a corner, he's going to get you and it's going to hurt. But and you two matched up so well. So let's talk New Japan for a second. Let's talk about that match. How was it like to be in the ring with a guy like Chase Owens, who, much like yourself, has had one hell of a year?
I really just want to thank Rocky Romero first. He was definitely the guy that brought me out for the New Japan tryout in October of 2019. So last year around this time, he brought me out for the tryout, and then I ended up separating my shoulder like 2 months after that, and I thought I was gonna be out for a while. But I'm radioactive, so I came back into the ring 1 month after I separated my shoulder. Funny story was I got hit by a car, and it kind of set my shit back in.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so it was a blessing in disguise.
It's kind of like when Shawn Michaels takes a chair shot and his eyes go from this to that. It's pretty cool like that, right? Yeah.
So basically, Rocky's the reason, why that happened for me. And so New Japan Strong, when I made my debut against TJ Perkins at Lions Break Collision, I told myself, like, this is my shot. I had wrestled TJ before. I knew that I could have a good match with him. I knew I could showcase my talent. And then now I've been on the show almost every week. I've been a consistent face on New Japan Strong, and it feels good to have that kind of a spot there. And now wrestling somebody like Chase Owens from Bullet Club, it was my first time in the ring with somebody from Bullet Club. It was my first time in the ring with Chase Owens. And when I saw that that's who I was wrestling, I was like, okay, this is another opportunity for me to show people how good I am. People that are still sleeping on me, or people that are still, doubting me, or can he keep the steam rolling, because some people get hot, you know what I'm saying? But it's not about getting hot, it's about staying hot. And I think that when I get matches like this with TJ Perkins and Chase Owens, wrestling Rocky Romero, matches on AEW Dark, these are the opportunities that I have to show people that this year, this isn't like a Cinderella year. This is my breakout year. This is me coming into my own and really getting my name out there, so that when stuff really starts happening, because I feel like there's still so much more coming to me, nobody's gonna be like, who is this guy? What? Who's Danny? Now they're learning this year. And I just need to keep that drive going, and wrestling somebody like Chase Owens. That New Japan locker room is full of talent. The New Japan Strong, a weekly Friday show, if people aren't watching it, they're missing the best hour of wrestling. You got guys like Chase Owens, you got Kenta, you got Jay White, you got freaking Jeff Cobb, Rocky Romero, Juice Robinson's on there, PJ Black, Fred Ross. I could keep going. Alex Zane, Blake Christian, Leo Rush, Chris Bay making his debut at the Super J Cup. There's so much talent in this locker room, and I'm so happy to be a part of it, man.
Absolutely. And you fit into that locker room so well. And there's so many dream matches running through my head. But if I did that, you're going to miss your next interview, because we're just going to be going dream match after dream match. But
well, if I have to pick my dream match right now from New Japan Strong, the person that I want to wrestle is Jay White. He's on my list. He's the one I want to wrestle right now from New Japan Strong, because I've already wrestled Rocky. I wrestled Chase Owens. It's for me, a New Japan Strong. It's Jay White.
Did you see the smile on my face when that happened?
Yeah, I'm sure I should.
You basically, what you did, because this episode's going to drop in December. So what you did was give me an early Christmas gift.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that by the time this episode drops, that match will have come to fruition, or there'll be a working up towards that.
When is this dropping?
This is going to drop second week of December.
Okay, cool. So hopefully we can manifest, something where it'll be happening soon then. Because
I'm gonna send all my positive vibes towards you. I'm gonna send it all from Canada, the country of positivity. I'm gonna send it your way. Send it your way. So I want to talk your stunt career for a while, because I tried to research what you'd been in, and I found, again, the internet is not 100% factual, but I know you've been in a lot of action movies. But can you list a couple that you were kind of really proud of, or a couple where like the fight scenes were just phenomenal, so I can go back and try to find those ones?
Well, the first one that I would like for you to watch, or everybody that's listening to check out, is Speed of Time with John Morrison. John Morrison's film. So funny story, first of all, I love John. I didn't grow up because I was already kind of older, but when I was just getting ready to stop watching wrestling, he was like really doing his thing with the ECW, and when he broke out of Eminem, and just the stuff that he did in the ring, the Money in the Bank matches with the moonsault, with the ladders. The dude was dope as fuck, So I was a fan of his. My sister, she preferred CM Punk. So we always had that beef, me and my sister right there. But what I will say is that some people say don't meet your heroes, right? So I met John Morrison for the first time in a ring in LA. I was training. I went there to train a lot. And he went there to like talk movie stuff. The owner of the building did props and stuff like that for movies. And so they were doing that. And then of course John was in the ring working stuff. So he came in the ring when I was in there and we kind of locked up and we started just, going, and we got to talking and stuff like that. I told him like, hey man, like I used to watch you. Obviously, I like the stuff that you did. If you look at my style, it's very much kind of similar with the innovation, the parkour stuff that he does. I do parkour, so I try to make my stuff seem different and unique like his stuff. And we were talking. I told him that I do stunts, and he told me that he was getting ready for a movie he was shooting. That he needed somebody to help him come up with the pre-visuals for the fights and the scenes. So all that is he needs somebody to come out and basically help him come up with some ideas and take some bumps for camera so that they could show the director and show everybody so that they could get a stunt team to do that stuff. Well, it ended up going so well that I ended up getting flown out to be in the movie, to do all the stuff that I helped him come up with. And so, John and his crew and the people, man, they took real good care of me. I think that's when my relationship with John really got tight. And now to this day, I still train with him. We meet in the ring, me, him, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, like we all train, Super Panda, we all train together and we just come up with new combos and new moves and things like that. And so if anybody's listening that they haven't seen Speed of Time, it's about this kid that gets stem cells, turns into this big, strong kind of a man like John Morrison. And he's basically traveling time to fight the Time Borgs. And it's an action comedy. It's a short film. It did amazing in film festivals. It's about 15-minute runtime. Just check it out. I do all the stunts for the Time Borgs. So you'll see me getting blown up and shot up and my ass kicked by John. I fall down some stairs. I get evaporated and there's a whole bunch of shit like that. And it's fun. It has Sean Marquette in it as well. So that's one of them. Another film that I did, it's called TNT. It's about a boxing, a female that boxes. I play her older brother who's training her, and she's getting ready for a fight. And there's like some ties to the mafia involved like that. And it's about family. It's another short film. So it was cool. I actually wrote and produced that one. And then right now in post-production, I got a film right now called Joe Riv. It's about a ex special forces who was called KIA. They said he was killed in action because he was in a top secret mission. Basically, he couldn't come back to his family is what happened. The movie picks up after that happens, and his sister is murdered in a club by some gangs. And so Joe Riv comes back from the dead to avenge his sister's death. The thing about this film is it's very much inspired by John Wick. Myself and me and Keanu Reeves, we have the same birthday. I've been a huge Keanu Reeves fan my whole life. And the first rated R movie I ever saw in the theaters was The Matrix. So I love the John Wick fight sequences. I love that it's all, very much knife play, gun play, really, really judo, jiu-jitsu style. So this film, it's about, instead of coming back to avenge my dog's death, I'm coming back to avenge my sister's death. I had a fiance when I was alive who thought I've been dead for 3 years. So now she sees me alive because when I come back for revenge, she just so happens to finally be having a night out at the club. She runs into Joe Riv. There's a non-stop actions, fights. I got freaking 2-on-1 fights, 4-on-1 fights, 1-on-1 fights, 3-on. Like it's just, I'm just going. Really good acting by Lauren Mendez. She plays my fiance. Really good acting by Dan Mastersons and Nathan Peoples. They play the two dudes that killed my sister. They're the sons of the big boss in the town. Really, really fun time. I had a lot of people show up for that one. My roommate PJ, he did the background music for the film. My cousin, he did the soundtrack for the film. And it's awesome. It's currently in post-production. We're almost done with it. It's going to be going to film festivals, and then it'll be pushed onto Amazon for everybody else to view.
Well, when it goes to Amazon, or even before then, if you want, drop your boy a link and I will share it all over my pages. We're gonna get that thing thousands and thousands of views. Because it sounds the whole time you were telling the story, my eyes were going wide. I was like,
it's tight, man. I'm really proud of myself with this one. Even my it's a really good story. It's a short film as well. Probably gonna run about 15 minutes, hopefully. And I really like at the time I was in acting school, so I feel like I had sharpened up my acting abilities. But the fucking stunts and the fights and I came up with all the stunts for the film, all the fight scenes. I coordinated all that shit. And you'll see as a wrestling fan, some of it is very much. I'm not out here doing Hurricane Ranas. I'm not doing nothing like that. But the psychology of the fights is very much. I put myself in. Okay, if I'm in a 2-on-1 handicap match, what would I be doing? You know what I'm saying? Like things like that. And so, there's glass bottles, there's gunshots, there's knives, it's dope as fuck. It's directed by my buddy Miko Sad. He's an amazing Egyptian Egyptian actor, filmmaker, who spent a lot of time in London. He's done a lot of projects, man. He came and directed it. The stunt coordinator was myself, but I did have a lot of help from this legendary stuntman, Nick Herms. He's done a lot of stuff with Transformers, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. He has like, I think if you go on IMDb, you look up Nick Herms, he has like over 100 credits of films that he's done, stunts in and stuff like that. And he came out to make sure that, everything that I was doing was correct. And he gave me some good work with the camera, making sure the cameraman was getting the right shots. And I'm super thankful to him. He actually owns a sandwich spot in LA. So if you go to LA Sandwich, you just look up LA Sandwich in Melrose. He's a nice little spot, really, really good sandwiches. So that's the plug for my boy Nick Herms. Thank you so much for what you did for me in the film. And I'm just, man, I'm really excited for that movie to come out because I think that the story in it is about family. It has ties to my military background. It has ties to, my love life and things like that. And it's super dope. I think people are gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, it sounds like it's got a metaphor for a credo for your life, right? Family, freedom, your country, and justice, kind of all rolled into one.
All rolled into one, Papa.
I love it, man. That's awesome. So another match of yours I want to talk about is another one of my favorites, and this is an Iron Man match with you and Rocket Boy Wilson from back in March of 2019. This was, you won 3 out of 2 falls, so you won just with like a minute 45 left, and it was insane. And again, the best part was when you won and the bell rang, you looked at the camera and you smiled and you did one of these you're on the ground, you did one of these and you said, "Happy Year of the Spider, bitches." I laughed my ass off when I heard that. I'm like, oh, that's gold. That's gold.
What a lot of people don't know about that match is I tore my LCL at the 16-minute mark of that match.
No way.
I tore my LCL.
I'm going to have to go back and so the 60-minute mark exactly or just a little bit after?
Like a little bit after 6. Basically, he does like a drop kick or something. He does something off the top rope. And I don't want to break kayfabe, but it wasn't supposed to go like that. It just wasn't supposed. That was not supposed to happen. And he hits me, and I was not ready for. It's just. And he hit me, and my leg went this way, and all I heard was a snap. Oh. And if you look, if you go back, you'll be able to see it because I get like hit in the back, and my body jerks a weird way. And you'll see how angry I get, and I end up taking my knee pad and stuff down, and I release all this, and you see me looking at the camera and like I'm talking shit. The shit that I'm saying, I'm so real about it, and I'm like, this is why I'm the fucking champion. Because that kid, man, he was talking so much shit about why, I don't deserve to be champion. I don't deserve this. I'm not ready for that. I don't even think he wrestles anymore, but he and I just was so like fucking fired up, and I was like. I ended up going to the fucking ER the next morning, and I had to get they did an X-ray scan first. I'm like, it's not gonna fucking show if anything's torn, And then they ended up doing a MRI, and I was like, you tore your LCL, and I still finished the match. I think maybe it was like the last 10 minutes. Maybe it was a 30-minute match, I think.
Yeah, it was a 30-minute Iron Man match, and you guys literally tore the house down. And it's a shame that he's not wrestling anymore because you guys had some definite chemistry. As much as there was a lot of shit talk in there, you guys had some definite in-ring chemistry.
It was good, and it was definitely one of the matches that like I had never done an Iron Man match before. I had never done a match. I don't think I've ever wrestled 30 minutes before. So when the injury had happened, I was like in my head, I'm like, nah, fuck that. Like, I'm going to make this shit work, Damn, that was a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
I ended up, just fucking wrapping my leg. I never even put a cast on there. I never got crutches. I just like wrapped this shit and was back in the ring wrestling like right after that.
Oh, that's the Marine. That's the Marine in you, right? You got to keep going. You can't
Yep.
slow down. You can't stop the train because if you stop the train and slow down, all the work that you've done
Yep.
goes right back. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that for your family. You don't want to do that for your career. And like, I gotta ask for a personal question though. When you're
Yeah.
on TV and your daughter sees you on TV, like when she sees you on AEW, what is her reaction? Like I from one girl dad to another, because every time my kids see me and they see some of the amazing athletes that I've been able to sit down and have given me the time, and I thank all my guests. And my daughter's always like, Dad, that's so cool. And even my 11-year-old, she does a little clip for our YouTube page called 5 Questions with the Mini Host. So if you have some time, we'd love to get you on that as well. We'll have to set something up for that later on. But what is little Limelight's reactions?
So I call her Lisi Limelight, and she it used to be Baby Limelight when she was little. Now she's Lisi Limelight. She loves it, man. She hates seeing me get beaten. She hates seeing me get beat up. So I want a championship this weekend. I'm not gonna say where, what company, nothing like that, because it's pre-tape. But I think by the time this airs, it would be out anyways, though. So, anyways, I went to go see her, and I brought the championship for her. She's like, put it on. She's like taking like promo photos with it, and then she's like, let's wrestle for the belt, Dad. So we're like having wrestling matches for the belt. So now, like, fortunately, she's been there, and she's seen me get injured before. She's seen me get hurt. She sees when I split my head. She's seen the staples. When I separated my shoulder in the match, she was. So she knows that I get hurt. So she hates to see that part. So I try to let her only watch the ones that I know that are safe, or where I come out victorious. But she did watch AEW Dark. She liked it. She had fun with it. She liked Marco's stunt. She thought he was funny. And she just loves it, man. And she's been watching me wrestle since she was 4 or 5. Well, I made my debut. She was 6 months old when I made my debut. So and her mom will bring her to the show. So she's been around it for so long. She loves it. She was there when I won my first championship. And that's my little girl, man. She loves wrestling. So
right on. And that's because we're good fathers. We show them a sport where men and women are created 100% equal.
Yes.
Now, I never show my kids anything back in the Attitude Era because that was all a joke towards women. Yes. But now,
yeah, she doesn't see that stuff either. She watches, her favorite. She likes Lacey Evans, and she liked Becky Lynch, but Becky's not wrestling right now. So Lacey Evans is her favorite right now, and she likes Sasha Banks.
What is it with that? My daughter is obsessed with Sasha Banks. I don't know if it's, what it is? It's because Sasha Banks does all these hair colors. And if I ever meet Sasha Banks, I'm going to tell her, listen, you got to just stick with one color because my fucking kid wants her hair to be a rainbow, okay? And I can't have that shit right now. I can't. So you got to just go back to your natural brown hair. You look good. You don't need to go purple and pink.
My daughter likes to do the shit that she does. I think it's the attitude that my daughter, the sassiness that Sasha Banks had that my daughter loves.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. I think sassiness gravitates towards sassiness. So since both of our daughters have nothing but attitudes because they get it from us.
Yes.
They gravitate towards the superstars that defy and challenge the authority.
Yep.
And there's nothing we can do about it because I got to ask you this question because I have a picture in my head of when the eventuality happens, Danny, that our children will start dating, and I want to reenact the scene from Bad Boys 2. I have a lot of wrestling friends, and I want to do that scene. I want to make a kid shit his pants. That's the goal, and then I'll stop.
At least 30.
At least 30. Shit, you at least 30. You ever had sex with a man? No, you want to? I want to scare the crap out of somebody. But when Lisi Limelight starts dating, you got to have some fun with it. That's the joy of being a girl dad, is that now you get to have your fun.
I was just watching. I just showed her the Goofy movie for the first time this week.
Nice.
And so there's a scene where Max comes to knock on the girl's door, and the big dad, he's like a bulldog. He's like all angry. She's like, Dad, relax. It's my friend Max from school. And he pats her in the head, smiling. Then he looks at Max. And he's like, and so I'm watching it, and I'm recording this part because I remember the scene in the movie, and I'm recording it. And then I look at her, and I'm like, that's gonna be me. And she goes, and gave me she smiled, and then she turned and gave me this disgusting. If anybody goes to my Facebook,
I saw it on your Facebook. I laughed my ass off.
That she oh my God, that's her, and that's gonna be me. I'm gonna be that protective dad, but also I'm gonna trust my daughter. I've never really been too strict. Maybe it's because she's still young. I'm sure when she gets older and the boys come around, but she'll be very well informed, you know, because her dad was like king fuckboy back in the day. So like I know all the games. So she'll be very, very well educated on the dating game, whether she likes, you know, men or women, whatever she chooses to date. Just making sure that, you know, no one hurts my daughter. That's all.
Absolutely. That's all it's about. At the end of the day, find your happiness, find somebody who's going to treat you with respect, and I will welcome them in my family. Find somebody who's going to treat you like dirt, and I will go to jail.
Yes. Find somebody who treats you like dirt, and they'll put them in the dirt.
Exactly. That's it. I always have a shovel in my trunk just for those odd occasions where
just in case. You never know, you know? Yeah.
You gotta handle people. You gotta handle people for sure. And Danny, my final question, because this is a question that I think the whole world wants to know, and maybe you've been asked on the other podcasts. I try not to look at any other interviews anybody's done because I want mine to be all original.
Yeah, no
But
worries.
with so much happening with you and the potential that is there and all the doorways that you now have kicked through, where does Danny LimeLight land in 2021? I have an opinion of where I would like to see you full time. And if you want, I'll share my opinion.
Yeah, let's start with that.
All right. So my opinion for you is 150% just because the roster is not as oversaturated as other organizations. I think you fit great and perfect, and you have a chance to strive and achieve amazing goals and amazing matches in New Japan. I really feel like that's a staple where you should be. And I feel like you fit so well into the mold. And like I said, there's so many dream matches running through my head, and you already listed mine. And your opponent is already there. So that's kind of a win-win for me. But where does Danny LimeLight feel he needs to plant his flag?
I love New Japan. They were the first major company that gave me a chance. They will be the first company that I would like to see something official slide across my desk. I do think that I fit in well there. I do think that I can have amazing matches with guys like Jay White, Will Ospreay, Ibushi, you know, Rocky Romero. I have been doing such amazing things there. And so I wouldn't mind it, you know. But then I look over at AEW and I think of the possibilities, you know. My dream match, you know, outside of the match with Jay White is a one-on-one with Ray Phoenix. And that's one of my really good friends, you know. But I look at AEW and I think, you know, I could see myself with Santana and Ortiz. You know, like I could see us doing a Puerto Rican, you know, thing there. I could see myself having another match with Sammy Guevara and having matches with, you know, Jungle Boy and all the people over there, you know. And if something was to slide across my desk there, then that's something I would love to entertain too. I can do amazing at the Impact X division. You know, I feel like I would be great there with guys like Trey Miguel, Chris Bay, Ace Austin. You know, like those are some amazing matchups alone right there. And other companies, you know, I've never had any talks with WWE, so you know, I wouldn't say no either. I'm somebody who I don't close any doors. You know, I don't say I want to be here and only here. I want to be where I belong, you know, and I feel like what's for me can be taken from me. If I'm supposed to be there, I'm going to end up there. Right now, I'm really just enjoying this process. I had a 2020 vision. I think that I surpassed what I envisioned. And, you know, I am going back to Florida this month. Well, this is pre-recorded, so by the time this airs, I would have already went back to Florida. And so we'll see what happens when that comes. Maybe by the time this airs, there'll be a big flyer on social media that says Danny LimeLight is all elite. I don't know, you know, but what I will say is that wherever I end up is going to be what's best for me and where I know that I can be an asset to that company. I'm super thankful to everybody. I'm super thankful to David Marquez, you know, because he's the guy that really took me under the wing and got me on TV and gave me the opportunity to run with it. I've been part of United Wrestling Network for 5 years, and you know, being on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood and Primetime Live right now is doing amazing things for my career. And Marquez was somebody that, you know, he introduced me to Rocky. You know, he put my foot in the door there for New Japan. So whether it be New Japan or AEW or another company, you know, I'm going to go where I believe that I'd be able to spread my wings at, and I'd be able to do my best work at. I know that the as long as the outcome is income and I'm able to create a legacy and make my daughter proud and, you know, really put on for Puerto Ricans, you know, that's important to me as well. I'll be fine. You know, I'm somebody that I can adapt and overcome and I can blossom where I'm planted. So whether, like I said, whether it's New Japan or it's AEW or another company, man, I'm gonna be okay. I think that I'll be good. I'm excited to see what happens, just as you are. You know, I don't know yet. Um, I'm just really just like enjoying this whole process right now, man. And it's crazy because you're asking me where do I want to end up, and a year ago people weren't asking me that question, you know. So it just feels good, and I'm really just taking it all in, and I'm taking it day by day. I'm not trying to be that guy that just signs to say he signed, you know. So we'll see. You know, hopefully, you know, by next year, I believe will be the year where I sign my name on a piece of paper for sure. I feel like it. Maybe it'll happen before the year's over. Who knows? You know.
Absolutely. And I think that's the greatest answer. I think all those places you listed, you could be an asset to any one of those. All I know is this, and it's going to be a kind of corny play on words, but I'm going to throw it out there. Wherever you go, the limelight will be shining. Huh? Huh? Danny, thank you so much for the time today. And I want to officially let you know that you are now and forever a member of the Straight Talk family. Anytime you want to come back on the show, it will be an absolute honor to have you.
Okay.
Give your daughter a hello for me and a high five. And all the best to you in your future endeavors. And for anybody who has not followed you on the wonderful world of social media, where can they find you?
I just want to thank you so much for bringing me on to Straight Talk. This was a dope conversation. I felt like it flowed really smooth, and I'm a big fan of people that know how to run an interview. So thank you so much for that. Anybody that's not following me, mi gente, I'm not hard to find. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Danny LimeLight. Go check out prowrestlingtees.com/Danny LimeLight for all my merchandise. I got some pretty dope shirts. And just hit me up, man. Slide in the DMs if you got a podcast you want to do, if you got, you know, some kind of show you want to put me on. I'm super down to interact with everybody. I'm not above anyone. And thank you so much for all the opportunities.
Absolutely. And because I'm a glutton for self-promotion, you can find me on the wonderful world of social media at Straight Talk Wrestling on Facebook and on Instagram, and at underscore Straight Talk on Twitter. So Danny, I follow you across all social media platforms. You do me the same, then you'll be able to see the tags a lot quicker for when this episode drops.
Got it, bro. I got you right now. I'm actually following you. I just
gracias. Thank you very much, my friend.
Thank
you go enjoy the rest of your day. And don't forget to tell your daughter that I'm a big fan of her dad. And and she should be proud already because you have achieved some amazing successes. And again, you could quote me on that. The limelight's going to shine wherever the hell you end up.
Thank you, brother.
All right, buddy. You take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Have a good night.
Peace.
Good day.
Thank you for listening. Tune in next week for another episode on Spreaker, Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. Also follow us on Facebook at Straight Talk Wrestling, on Instagram at Straight Talk Wrestling, and on Twitter at _Straight Talk. And for all our merchandise, you can search us on ProWrestlingTees.com.